On the surface, it looked like a pretty quiet, maybe even a little bit of a boring day for the Indian markets. But just beneath that calm, there's this powerful economic tug-of-war playing out. It's this fascinating tension between huge growth ambitions on one side and the crucial guardrails of governance on the other.
So let's really dig into this, because this question, it's a big one. The answer tells us so much more than what happened in just one day of trading. It really points to the entire direction of India's economy.
Okay, first things first, let's just get a feel for the market's pulse. And the word of the day was definitely consolidation. You can think of it like the market just collectively taking a big breath, kind of pausing to figure out its next move. And you can see that cautious mood reflected right here. I mean, when the big two, the Nifty and the Sensex, both dip, even if it's just a little bit, that's a really clear signal. Investors are in a wait-and-see mode, showing a bit of hesitation after all the recent action. So what was really behind this pause? Well, the pressure wasn't coming from everywhere. It was actually really concentrated. With the banking heavyweights, we're talking HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank, weighing things down. And that suggests a very specific concern. Maybe some profit-taking or a reaction to regulatory chatter, not some kind of widespread panic. But here's the thing. While the stock market was kind of tapping the brakes, another part of the economy was hitting the accelerator hard. Let's look at how the engines of long-term growth were getting fueled up with some serious cash and, honestly, some incredible ambition. Just get a load of this number, $846 million. Now, this is not just some figure on a balance sheet. This is a massive loan greenlit by the Asian Development Bank, and it's a direct investment into upgrading skills and boosting employability all across India. It is a huge bet on the nation's people. And that ambition, it literally soars even higher in the defense sector. There's a landmark program kicking off, a really strategic push to develop and own the technology that's going to power India's aerospace and defense future. This is all about self-reliance on a truly world-class scale. And here is the power behind that ambition: 120 kilonewtons of thrust. That's the target for a brand new jet engine that's going to be co-developed with a global partner. And see, this isn't just about building an engine, it's about mastering the super high-end tech that goes with it. Of course, look, you can have all the ambition in the world, but it has to be built on a foundation of trust and quality, right? And that's why this reassurance from HAL's chairman is so important. Highlighting the Tejas fighter's exceptional world-class safety record sends a crystal clear message: India can build reliable, top-tier defense hardware. Okay, so we've got this massive, ambitious push for growth on one side, but now we have to talk about the other side of that tug-of-war. This is the cautionary counterbalance. It's that powerful call from regulators for prudence, for responsibility, and for really strong governance. And it really doesn't get more direct than this. This is a clear statement from the RBI's deputy governor when the central bank itself starts talking about safeguarding borrower interests and warns about people getting too much debt. It's sending a really potent signal to the entire fintech and microfinance world. Grow? Sure, but you better grow responsibly. So it's one thing to hear these warnings from the top, but what does it actually look like when these calls for compliance hit the real world? Well, we have a fascinating and very current test case that shows exactly how these guardrails work. And boom, here it is in action. A planned rights allotment that's basically offering new shares to existing investors within the whole Byju's Akash setup gets put on hold. And the reason? Alleged compliance issues tied to foreign exchange rules. This is governance in the real world, showing how regulatory frameworks can hit pause on even major corporate deals to make sure the rules are being followed. So with this whole backdrop, this tension between growth and governance, how are individual companies actually navigating all of this? Let's take a look at some of the strategic moves being made on the corporate chessboard. Mahindra & Mahindra is just a fantastic example of a company thinking ahead. Step 1, they grab a stake in a solar energy firm. Step 2, this move helps them lock down their own green power supply. And Step 3, they're planning a whole new hybrid plant. It's just a super smart play that goes for growth while also building a sustainable future. Now, what are the market experts saying? Well, check out JSW Infrastructure.
Kodak Institutional Securities just gave them an upgrade. Now look, it's still not a buy rating, but moving from sell to reduce and nudging that price target up, that shows that analysts are seeing renewed confidence in the company's growth potential.
And the action did not stop there, not by a long shot. We saw some huge block trades, which means big investors were making moves in Cholamandalam Financial and Sarah Sanitary Ware. Meanwhile, a major leadership change over at investment giant Temasek India points to some strategic repositioning. Every one of these is like a chess move as companies try to find growth in this really carefully watched environment. Of course, it's so important to remember that none of this is happening in a bubble. India's economic story is deeply connected to what's going on around the world. So let's zoom out for a second and look at those international influences. Over on the global stage, US President Trump announced some pretty big immigration reforms. And listen, whenever policies shift in the world's biggest economy, especially on stuff like immigration and trade, you can bet that global investors, including those focused on India, are watching very, very closely. And then you've got geopolitics. An upcoming visit to India by Russian President Vladimir Putin really puts a spotlight on these shifting global alliances. Strengthening relationships like this one is always a key piece of the long-term economic puzzle, because it can open up whole new doors for trade and strategic partnerships. Which brings us right back to where we started. On one side, you have these incredible engines of growth, the massive investments, the bold ambitions. And on the other, you have that essential call for governance and for responsible behavior. But in the end, it's probably not about one force winning. The real story, the thing that's truly going to define India's next chapter, is how the nation masterfully balances the two.